Hey the internet, welcome to another episode of the John Graves Show. I'm making this video because recently I just deleted my Naruto Sucks video. And this is my Naruto Sucks follow-up video. Pretty much because apparently a few people felt that I was being biased in my opinions upon how the show of Naruto was being created. Or pretty much kind of the follow-through of how it was, or pretty much the path it took to become the show that it is today. Now, mind you, apparently a lot of people, they want to hear the good and the bad of what I think about it. And apparently, I'm gonna cut to the chase right now. The story of Naruto. I love the story of Naruto. Pretty much the story of a underdog and an outcast, pretty much overcoming pretty much the expectations of the people around him to pretty much become a better character, or at least pretty much become a better person, and prove to all of them that yes, he isn't pretty much a prodigal of destruction, and that the beast inside of him isn't something that is going in to take over his body and pretty much isn't going to bring destruction to their village. Okay, I can understand that because I like story. In terms of number two, I love all of the characters in this show. Now, mind you, not all of the characters. However, I do like the characters who pretty much kind of have a standout personality and pretty much kind of do things that kind of elevate the story and pretty much elevate them. I love actually seeing the characters grow. I love honestly seeing them do things that pretty much get better, and I like seeing them do things which I love seeing the brand new abilities that each character gains as the show goes on. Now in terms of what else I do like about this show, I love his villains. Pretty much, well, not necessarily their plans per se, but pretty much I do like the fact that pretty much they know how to keep they do know how, man, to keep me interested in the show. Pretty much how powerful they are and all the amazing abilities they have. However, mind you that same speech every time Naruto or somebody fights one of these villains, it's always boiled down to the villain makes a better argument, and the only thing that the main character can say is, well, now, yeah, I can't do that because it's my ninja way, or some bullshit like that. So that's kind of the things that I like. Here are pretty much the things that I don't like. I don't like how they handle the side characters. I really do not like how they handle that. Now, pretty much a lot of my friends, they did honestly kind of mention like Kakashi, Gaara. They did mention like Hashirama, Minato, and so on and so forth like that. And for the most part of the first Naruto season, yes, pretty much they did kind of show off Rock Lee and Neji and Hinata and pretty much all the little minor ninjas who pretty much did do things to stand out, even going as far as to fighting the Sound Ninja. But right after that point, we led into a filler arc, which pretty much could have been used as some sort of trigger to sort of like elevate the characters, but they didn't do that. All they did was talk about brand new abilities and really didn't add any new story plots there. It was just, here's some brand new abilities and here's some stuff that they can do. Then pretty much this led into Shippuden of pretty much going as like, they only had two major character dumps in that one. Pretty much the one with they had a lot with Gaara, which Gaara's thing was pretty much which was a lot of that was overcoming Shikaku and pretty much him losing Shikaku and him becoming a more mature character and him taking him handling the village and everything. Now that was cool, but then going on to Shikamaru's thing, that was actually kind of cool too. Solely because we actually get to see Shikamaru do actually come back and sort of like show off his smarts and kind of see how he can go up against people of the Akatsuki's and even possibly protect the life. I mean, and even try and get revenge for Asuma. Now, where this show kind of failed at that is because I kind of would have liked to see more of this. I kind of would have liked to see like a small little arc with some of the other characters. Now, mind you, yes, a lot of people say that Gaara is an important character, but honestly, really, Gaara's story was done after he lost Shikaku. Pretty much, there was no reason for us to bring back his character until pretty much the war now. That is pretty much the only time when he was supposed to come back. In terms of Shikamaru, I wasn't asking for much for that. All I was asking for was just show me some of the old characters coming back, showing me some brand new abilities, showing me like what they had, and I kind of wanted to see them like have like a small story here and there just to elevate like their characters just a little bit, not a lot, just a little bit, like just like 2-3 episodes. You could possibly do that. Just give them like a random boss, have them fight something, and then just move along. But they didn't do that. It was all about Naruto and dealing with his crazed chakra and him mastering something mastering something in like a few episodes. Now, mind you, I know a lot of people, they like the show because of that, or at least as they say, it is to the point. But at the same time, it's like, that's kind of the point. I mean, that's kind of my problem with it. It's like it's too to the point. It gets the things too fast for me. Sometimes I just wanted to take it easy and just show me some minor build up for something without Naruto mastering everything within like a week. I don't want to see that. I mean, like, it's not a problem, but at the same time, it does kind of suck me out of the show a little bit when basically a character who pretty much when he started was basically the worst ninja ever, to pretty much going now and seeing how that he is the greatest ninja ever. It's like, it's kind of a little disjointed. Pretty much actually, and that's something actually seeing his growth into the character he is today. So, now, mind you, I really kind of have to say this as Naruto. I mean, like, I know Naruto people, they do love him as a character, but I have to move on to my second thing that I have to say here, and that is Naruto as a character. He's pretty terrible as a main character. Well, not terrible per se, but he's not the most appealing main character. Now, mind you, I know a lot of people, they love his character, they love everything about him, but at the same time his character is a walking juggernaut. Nobody can stop him, nobody can beat him, nobody can really damage him. And pretty much, even though you can note a few times when that he did have struggles and battles, and you can note times when that he did almost lose, at those same times, there was no real suspense in those battles because for one, he has an ability that basically destroys everything it hits in one hit. And also, pretty much, he is essentially the greatest ninja ever, solely because he has half of the Tail Beast chakra and is still pretty much the strongest person in the show. Because who can beat Naruto? Nobody but Naruto. That's pretty much the catch-all end-all of his character. Is like, he's just a walking juggernaut which nobody can stop. Now, pretty much we kind of have the things going on with Madara now, but Madara is already a broken character, so it's difficult for me to kind of judge that in terms of like an actual battle. And pretty much the only other person who probably could have beaten him was Obito, but seeing as that he pretty much mastered his Kamui ability, that's kind of out. That right there is kind of out of the window as well. The only way to beat Naruto is with a broken ability, which pretty much makes you invincible in a one-on-one battle, unless you have Kakashi there with you. Now, moving on to what I said earlier. Now, what do I do like about Naruto's abilities? Well, I do like the fact of the Rasengan. I do like the way how he does it. However, I'm not a big fan of how pretty much this one move is basically is basically a one-hit kill ability, especially when he transformed it to the Russian Shuriken. I kind of would have liked to pretty much seen him not master it and have a bit of a problem kind of hitting people with it, especially with like him using two hands to do it. It kind of would have been kind of cooler or pretty much way more suspenseful if he pretty much had a problem to necessarily like do like the two-handed one, which that he had difficult containing, because then it could be like a multi-hit ability, and it can show him having way more struggles in battle. But the one hand works too, even though every Rasengan works differently throughout the show. Now, I want to talk about my villains for right now. What is it that I have the biggest problem with in Naruto? And it's not the villains. However, they are a very good deterrent from pretty much the repetitiveness that is Naruto's fighting pattern of just doing a little bit taijutsu here and there and then throwing a Rasengan in somebody's face. So it's a good thing that they kind of have a little deterrent from that. However, for most of the stuff that does kind of happen in that show, the villains are possibly the only real driving force in this show. If it wasn't for pretty much the villains in any story, or pretty much if it wasn't for the villains pretty much kind of having their interesting backstories, pretty much I wouldn't be interested I wouldn't be as interested in Naruto as a show, solely because some of pretty much the more interesting parts of Naruto, they either come from the villains' backstories, or pretty much they come from some of the the supposed main arc side characters, such as like when Hashirama is telling Sasuke about when Hashirama is telling Sasuke about the how the Leaf Village was created. I was way more interested in that than I was with Naruto's thing, and that's honestly sad for a show to do that to me later on in its life cycle. However, pretty much that's kind of how Naruto works as in a whole. After a while, it's like it just got so repetitive that pretty much I kind of started liking some other characters to show up and do something, which is honestly kind of why I was which is honestly why I am so lenient upon the side character thing, is because after a while the show itself just gets really repetitive. It just does the same things over and over and over again, from pretty much the way how they do fights, from pretty much the way how they handle villains, to pretty much the way how that they kind of do the tail beast. I mean, really, it's kind of just the same old, and there really isn't enough variety there to pretty much kind of keep me interested for long periods of time. Now, mind you, this is without me even saying that they don't respect any of their fucking side characters, aside from pretty much the ones with the coolest abilities. That's about it. Because if you have a cool ability, you are going to be on the top shelf, minus a few. However, I do gotta say this now though. That fucking thing, man, with Neji was a serious disservice to his character. The way how they killed him off, yes, man, it was to protect Hinata, but at the same time, it was kind of a disservice to his character to just to be killed like that. Especially saying is that how some characters now can be beaten to like an inch of their lives, and they can just walk that they can just walk that off, or get like stabbed and cut up, and they can just walk that off. It's like, come on, man, that is fucking terrible. However, conclusion: if you like Naruto as a series, if you love it, hate it, I'm cool with that. Myself, I like Naruto. I like Naruto as a series. Is it one of my favorite series? No, it's not. However, do I like it as a show? Yes, I do. Pretty much, I'm making this video because I'm passionate about it. I pretty much saw potential in the show that pretty much I kind of wanted to see, like, elevated more, or pretty much kind of like, I kind of wanted to see more of it, because for me, because I kind of watched this show back when Bleach and One Piece came on around the same time, and One Piece is still one of my favorite animes from its first inception. Now pretty much you can say whatever you want about me because of that show, but I'm like, seriously, I do like One Piece, I do like Bleach, and I do like Naruto. The thing is though, it's just that Naruto is a very ungraceful show. How it's kind of progressed over the years, it has been really ungraceful. Now, mind you, that if it does get better, I man will gladly admit it. But at the same time, it's like, what we have right now really isn't all that. It's really average. It's not terrible. It's not unwatchable. It's just average. Now, pretty much for the people who are asking for the Sasuke versus Naruto thing, if Naruto beats Madara, I'm sorry to say this, but what do you think, man? Sasuke is going to do? He is only just an Uchiha without the Rinnegan, or pretty much Senju cells fused into his body. So that's all I have to say on that. You guys keep watching anime. You keep playing those video games. I'll see you guys on the next John Graves show. And for everybody who saw my last video, I am so sorry that I had to delete that. I just pretty much felt like that I didn't explain myself as well as I could. So pretty much for everybody who commented on that, everybody who pretty much subbed me because of that, I'm sorry that I did that. But I couldn't have that kind of mindless display that I showed on the internet, because it kind of leaves a bad reputation for me, and pretty much it's not something that pretty much kind of it makes me come off as pretty much a person who pretty much just kind of just dislikes something for pretty much the sake of disliking it. And that's something that pretty much I don't want to give you. I want to give you something quality wise. So hopefully this second video can pretty much kind of put things into a perspective, and pretty much we can kind of just try this again without necessarily trying to go to a point in which that we kind of do something in which that it turns into like mindless fan rage. So until then, I'm sorry for deleting the other video and making this one, but pretty much I kind of had to like get my views out there the way how that, you know, they needed to be. So keep watching anime, keep playing video games. I'll see you guys on the next John Graves show. Hopefully you people are still sub to me and still watching my videos. I would really appreciate it if you were. You guys are great. Have a great new year 2014. I will see you guys next video.